In the blistering, sun-scorched hellscape of the Mojave Wasteland, where humanity claws for survival and chaos reigns supreme, one man dares to dream of leisure. Alistair Tenpenny, magnate, misanthrope, and unapologetic admirer of annihilation, has tasked me, his lowly courier, with the impossible. Find him the ultimate vacation spot. He craves a cocktail of safety, luxury, seclusion, and spectacle, all wrapped in a bow of natural beauty. His tastes are as refined as they are ridiculous, and I can already hear his sneering laugh echoing through the wasteland. Let's take this absurd journey from the worst the Mojave has to offer to a destination so perfectly wretched, it might even coax a smile from Tenpenny's smug face. Bonnie Springs. There are ghost towns, and then there's Bonnie Springs. This place doesn't just feel abandoned. It feels actively resentful of your presence. The silence is heavy, broken only by the whispers of the past, and, occasionally, the distant sound of your own courage fleeing. My first encounter here was with the Vipers, whose idea of hospitality involved scaring the living shit out of me. This is no mere wasteland detour. It's a dare. Bonnie Springs doesn't offer sanctuary. It offers a chilling reminder that not every ruin in the Mojave is eager to welcome guests. It's a miserable cocktail of death, dread, and dirt. The air feels thick, like it's holding its breath, waiting for the next poor soul to stumble through. Every creak of every broken fence post feels like a ghost shifting in its grave. It's not hard to imagine Tenpenny's disdain here. He'd likely find a grim amusement in the place, but would insist on burning it down, just to give it some use. At first glance, Lake Mead is a breathtaking expanse of shimmering blue, a refreshing oasis in the Mojave. But come closer, and it reveals its true nature. A watery death trap swarming with lake lurks, just waiting for the unwary to dip a toe. It's like nature's cruelest practical joke, beautiful enough to tempt you, deadly enough to make you regret it. The campgrounds are laughable, offering nothing more than rusty cooktops and false hope. It's the kind of place that makes you wonder if the pre-war planners were playing a cosmic prank, or if they genuinely believed a lone shack would stand up to centuries of ruin. The beauty of the lake, its glassy surface reflecting the sun like liquid diamonds, is almost enough to distract you from the fact that every ripple could mean death. Tenpenny would hate the lurking death, but he'd love the drama of it. I can imagine him watching the chaos unfold from the deck of a luxury boat, at a safe distance of course. The Grubb N Gulp is the Mojave's answer to a greasy spoon diner, except the spoon is rusty and the grease is probably irradiated. It's a place where you can grab a bite and maybe trade a story or two with the NCR troopers loitering around. But rest your head? Forget it. The closest thing to a bed here is the dirt floor, and even that's already taken by exhaustion. There's a strange comfort in the familiarity of it though. The faded signs, the smell of overcooked meat, and the hum of a generator that always sounds like it's on its last leg. It's as if someone tried to bottle the essence of pre-war roadside diners and failed spectacularly. It's charming in a "this is where I die" sort of way. For Tenpenny, the Grubb N Gulp is more than a novelty, a brief interlude before moving on to somewhere worthy of his presence. The moment you step onto the grounds of Matthew's Animal Husbandry Farm, you can feel it, the weight of its past, pressing down like a heavy fog. The cattle graze aimlessly, oblivious to the eerie stillness that hangs in the air. Grave plots, burned skeletons, and the faint echo of tragedy make this place more haunted than homey. It's the kind of place that gets under your skin. The barn creaks with the weight of memories too heavy to be forgotten, and the open fields feel more like a stage for something sinister than a refuge. The silence isn't peaceful, it's accusatory, like the land itself remembers the sins of its former occupants. Tenpenny might find the ambience amusing for about 5 minutes before demanding a flamethrower to cleanse the area. He'd call it a quaint little tragedy, and then move on unimpressed. There is a moment during the grueling hike up to Camp Guardian, where you begin to wonder if the view is worth it. Spoiler, it is not. The ascent is as unforgiving as the Mojave sun, and by the time you reach the top, all you're greeted with is the desolate aftermath of an NCR failure. The camp itself feels like an epitaph for ambition, a place where good intentions went to die. The tents flap in the wind like mourners at a gravesite, and the once proud fortifications now serve as homes for scavengers and dust. The view is breathtaking, yes, but it's the kind of beauty that mocks you for ever thinking it was attainable. Tenpenny would marvel at the futility of it all. He'd call it a fine metaphor for the NCR and leave before the sweat dried on his brow. Freeside is the definition of chaos in the Mojave Wasteland. It's a riot of sights, sounds, and definitely some smells. Some pleasant, most not. Thugs prowl the streets, merchants hawk their wares, and the kings strut around like Elvis never left the building. It's a place where survival isn't guaranteed, but entertainment definitely is. The energy of Freeside is infectious, a pulsating heartbeat in the corpse of civilization. Every alley hides a story. Every corner offers a chance or a threat. It's the kind of place that makes you feel alive, even as it tries to kill you. Tenpenny would appreciate the spectacle, but despises the lack of control. He'd see it as a raw diamond, too rough for his refined tastes. Then we move to Westside. And Westside is Freeside's calmer, more composed cousin. It's got a sense of community, a smattering of amenities, and even some fresh crops growing in the middle of the wasteland. Here, you can walk the streets without constantly glancing over your shoulder, which, in the Mojave, is practically a luxury. It's a place that feels lived in, like the people here have found a way to make the apocalypse feel almost normal. The small farms and tidy streets speak of resilience, of a stubborn refusal to let the world's end dictate their lives. It's not glamorous, but it's honest. Tenpenny might find it tolerable, even charming in a rustic way, but in his heart, if you can call it that, it would still yearn for something more, way more grander. And here we are, the number one spot. The Thorn isn't just a location, it's a spectacle, a stage for violence and glory that caters to the darkest parts of the human nature. Hidden beneath the surface, it's a world of controlled chaos where creatures battle for survival as the crowd cheers for blood. The air is thick with anticipation, every roar from the pit echoing like a hum to destruction. The flickering torchlight casts jagged shadows, turning every spectator into a silhouette of hunger and thrill. This is a theater in its rawest form, where life and death dance to the rhythm of primal instincts. For Tenpenny, this is Nirvana. The violence is theatrical, the danger safely confined, and the entire experience drips with primal allure. Honestly, who wouldn't hit that like button for such perfectly curated chaos? It's the perfect blend of safety and spectacle, offering him a front row seat to the kind of destruction he loves, all from the comfort of a VIP perch. And so, there you guys have it. From the haunted ruins of Bonnie Springs to the bloody grandeur of the Thorn, the Mojave offers a buffet of experiences from every flavor of insanity. But for Alistair Tenpenny, only one destination reigns supreme: the Thorn, with its blend of calculated chaos and primal entertainment, is the perfect getaway for a man who finds beauty in destruction. May his next martini be sipped to the sound of claws and cheers.